Welcome to Global Shift, where we track the global transition away from the neoliberal world disorder towards a new planetary order and help to unpack and make sense of the latest news and geopolitical events. This is a brief announcement to say that I've posted an article on the Global Shift website on 12th of December which covers the events of the current war in the Middle East, a link to which is available in the video description box below. The first part of the article covers the information war, which has involved the killing of 75 journalists so far. In many cases, this involved killing their entire families. This hasn't stopped the unfolding of the atrocities committed by the Israeli armed forces, not only in Gaza, but also in the West Bank, from being covered in devastating and graphic detail. Three aspects to all this comes out. Firstly, there is the unprecedented brutality of the events. Secondly, their quality of genocide, in virtue of the intention of the Israeli government to ethnically cleanse Gaza, has led to several legal actions against either Biden in the United States or against Israel at the International Criminal Court and the International Court of Justice. And thirdly, the way in which the United States appears to be directly implicated in these events, hence Biden being sued in the process. The severity of the events and their close coverage are, it is to be repeated, extraordinary and unprecedented. They do bode ill for the United States. Far more than any military defeat, they will cause a decline in American international power in the future. In that the unqualified support of American politicians for Zionism will have been the root cause, the clear consequence in the long term will inevitably involve an eclipse of Zionism. Blinken's role in the unfolding events is also discussed. Here the article emphasizes his blindness to the reality of the situation, first in regard to the new diplomatic environment, which has been discussed in an earlier article. I might add a link to that article actually in the video description box below as well. This new diplomatic environment emerged from the peace deal between Iran and Saudi Arabia that was brokered by China earlier this year, in March, I think, and which has changed relationships between states in the region quite dramatically. Secondly, there is what I consider to be Blinken's blindness also to the actual facts on the ground in Gaza itself, and to the economic situation overall in Israel. The second part of the article discusses Zionism, and it discusses Zionism in terms of how it came to be an article of faith in American politics. Its social roots and the great demographic shift of the 1960s and 70s is explored, and how this led to the symbiosis between the new right and the Christian right, the creation of the Israel lobby, and the rise of neoconservatism. The purpose of this deconstruction is to see how the identification between the interests of the United States and of Israel in policy circles arose, one that, if denied, is routinely met with accusations of anti-Semitism, and which has caused so much damage to American interests in the case of the Iraq War, and which will now cause further, possibly much more damage in the case of the current events in Gaza. Please do send any comments and questions on the article to info@globalshift.com. We'd love to hear from you and discuss these issues. Thank you for listening.